thank you guys all for being here tonight. I want to thank the Hydro here. It was amazing night. They were wonderful to work with. We had a great experience being here. I know our talent did. Whenever they can come to a place like Scotland and just experience the culture. They've had a couple of days here where they were able to go visit a few castles and do a few things on the off hours where they, they could do it privately, and they incredibly enjoyed it. So thank you to all of you. I want to thank all the fans that were here both last night and tonight for making this experience incredibly memorable. There's nothing like being in a packed arena when fans are that excited for you to be here and for you to perform for them. And I've said this, I think I did anyways yesterday. We give our talent, go out there and they give you everything they have. They leave it all in that ring. And it's wonderful when the fans come and they do the same thing. They just leave it, everything that they have in that arena and just have the greatest time. That's what we're here for. And thank you for all of you being here tonight. We experimented tonight with a decibel meter, if any of you saw that, which I think will be a fun experiment to go down. It was very loud. I kept seeing numbers creep up into the hundreds, which is, I'm not a hearing expert, but it's incredibly loud. So congratulations to everybody in Scotland for living up to your reputation as being mental and crazy, very loud and excited. So we set a new record tonight, or all of you set a new record tonight, I should say, for the largest arena gate in history, smashing what we just set in France. We had 11,391 fans here in attendance tonight, but when you crush a record a little over a month ago or so and come here and just surpass that, that's exciting. And it's a really exciting time right now for all of us to be part of this sort of just moment in time where we're just expanding so much globally. WWE has always been a global product, but we're in the middle of an international run like we've never really done before just in the last few months. From Perth, Australia to Lyon, France, to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, to Scotland here tonight. We're heading into Toronto next month for Money in the Bank, or 3 weeks from now, Money in the Bank, and then Berlin at the end of summer. So a spectacular international run, and I got to tell you, none of you have let us down, so thank you very much for that. I think you'll also expect to see that continue as we move into our existing partnerships with NBCU, but as we move into our partnership with Netflix in January, and I'm not sure how many accurately understand this, but when we move to Netflix in January, 80% of the globe will immediately get all WWE programming at that time. So they will be able to see all the PLEs, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all of it on Netflix, 80% of the globe in January. So that's a massive sort of game-changing moment for all of us in WWE, and very exciting. Also, for all of you here, we will be back to the UK and Ireland this fall, England, Wales, Ireland, starting in mid-October. So international run continues and is very exciting. As for tonight, I'll just run through the card really quick. Cody and AJ was just spectacular. It was everything that I thought it would be. Two of the very best in the world, doing what they do at a level that very few can. And there was a big learning from me in that match tonight, which is never mess with Cody's mom. She is, as much as I knew she was a badass, I don't want to get slapped around by her, and I don't want her cussing me out. So hats off to Cody's mom. The women's tag match, Alba and Isla were out here before. I'm sure most of you are aware about Alba having a tragedy in her life just very recently, and a very tough emotional time for her. I was extremely happy for her tonight to be able to have this moment that it was able to work out, and that, quite frankly, she was able to perform under those circumstances the way that she did. And I also want to stress one thing, that it is not the reason. Because I think a lot of people might think that, oh, well, they did this because. We didn't do that because. They are incredibly talented women, both of them, and incredibly deserving of the honor that they had tonight. It has zero to do, I'm happy for that, that it was able to happen, but I just want everybody to understand that it had zero to do with that. Sometimes when you're in a position and you cannot raise all boats at once, no matter how badly you want to, in the job that I'm in, that our creative are in, sometimes it just takes time. And sometimes you just need a spark, or you need the right moment. I think tonight was that spark. I think tonight was that right moment. But it was for all the right reasons that they have worked so hard for and so rightly deserve for both of them. Speaking of that same sentiment, Bailey and Piper, Bailey is always, she's like a constant here. Sometimes doesn't always get her flowers given to her, but is a constant and is one of the absolute best in the world. Also, happens to be her birthday today, so if you run into her, don't be afraid to sing and embarrass her. There was a moment tonight at Gorilla Position where there was a clog of women and talent singing happy birthday to Bailey when she came back from the ring, which was a nice little moment. But Piper Niven tonight showed up in a way that she needed to, and in a way that I knew that she could. She is another talent that just needed that time and that moment, and now she's had it. And while she didn't win the title tonight and didn't beat Bailey tonight, the showing that she had, in my mind, catapults her to another level. And now it's on her to capitalize on it, it's on us to capitalize on it, but to me, that heads her in a different direction. So very, very excited for her, and an incredible performance. Sami Zayn, just another guy, I think, almost incapable of having a bad match or a bad story or a bad creative run. And Gable, Chad Gable, proving again, he's just one of the best pure athletes that we have on the roster in the world. His athletic ability, the things he brings to the table are second to none. He's an incredible performer. He needs to focus a little bit more on what he can do and a little bit less on the others around him. I maybe don't mess with Otis quite so much, because I feel that coming, and that's a massive humanity I don't think I want landing on me anytime soon. But Gable, again, showing up tonight and just taking it to another level, which I'm very happy for him, and excited that he is going to be where he should be, which is here in the WWE for a long time to come. And then, as was just being discussed, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. Drew, with all the momentum in the world of an entire country behind him here, of his people, just wanting to see him be victorious, putting on an incredible performance. And Damian Priest, I heard him out here, and he has a right to be angry about it. He has a right to be where he's at and be busting his ass week in and week out to earn the spot that he is in, and having people question it. But I've known him for a while now, and what he set up here is there's nothing he likes better than shutting people up. So when people question him, I think he's going to do what he did here tonight. He's going to show up, and he's going to shut people's mouths, and he is going to prove to them long term that the guy that won the championship, that everybody said maybe that's not the right move, or maybe he's just a transitional champion, or maybe he can't hang at that level. He's going to prove all of you wrong, and I know he's going to do it, and he's happy to do it, and I'm happy for him to do it. He's an incredible talent. He's been doing this a really long time, and sort of finally getting in that spot where he can really show what he can do. And when you look at him from 3 months ago to the performer that he is today. The aura that he has, the X factor that he has grown incredibly, and I'm very happy for him, and I think there's big things to come in the future. And then, you know, let's talk about CM Punk for a second. It's a long way to fly just to be an angry man. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think it might have something to do with his sugar intake. He's always eating donuts or muffins or something that don't seem to be good for him, and I think it messes with his psyche. The one good thing is he is healing. I think he will be back soon. Obviously, you haven't seen the last of him. He is a man that will hold a grudge. He will see that grudge through to the end. But he mentioned some things up here, and yeah, there is a change, and there is a new era, a new atmosphere, a new all those things. And yes, absolutely, in some ways they are things that he was asking for and started a long time ago. And at a time that maybe he and I, for a lot of reasons, just saw things differently from each other. And we saw eye to eye, but it was angry eye to eye. And it was opposition eye to eye. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have him back. I cannot tell you how exciting it is for me to see the Phil Brooks that I wanted to see then. And while maybe my efforts to get that were taken wrong, and it's what led to friction, I always knew the Phil Brooks that I see today was inside there, just couldn't express it in the right way. So as much as this has changed, he has changed, and I've got to tell you, it's amazing. And I'm excited, for the future, and I'm excited to not just work with him, but just to be around him. He's a pleasure to be around in that locker room. He's a pleasure to be around as a performer. He's a pleasure to be around helping other guys to grow, to change, to just impart what he has learned, not only as a performer, but also as a person that maybe was on the wrong side of things and figured it out along the way. And that's valuable information that he can share with another generation that is becoming behind him or is coming behind him. And I just gotta say, I'm thrilled and excited to have him here, and I'm thrilled and excited to not only work with him in a talent role, but work with him to create the WWE that both he and I always wanted it to be. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Who is the first round?
Hi, Bernard Collas, French journalist for Let Sport. I wanted to know if WWE took advantage of these international PLEs to observe local wrestlers. I know, for example, in France, some of the best French wrestlers were in part of the security team during the KO show. So does that mean WWE might be interested by them?
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed it, but security teams at Raw, SmackDown, and other shows tend to make the best wrestlers in the future. Sheamus, a lot of these guys were all security people, and then it blew up for them, and they became huge successes. It's amazing. I don't know what that is, but it works out wonderfully. Yeah, look, part of my job, Shawn Michaels' job, William Regal's job, is ensuring the future. We have a massive team. Part of that future is knowing who is out there globally, domestically across the U.S., knowing who's out there in working independent promotions or whatever it is, everywhere in the world, and know who's out there and know who's worth something. When we have an opportunity to go to a market and see them in person, it's wonderful, and hopefully eventually bring them over to the PC or whatever it is for us to be able to do and work with in the future. But we keep an eye on people, and when we see them, if what they're doing is working and they're growing, a lot of times we just watch and continue to let them grow. When the time is right, we try to bring them in and get them to that next level and hopefully become WWE superstars. But we keep an eye on all of them. I do believe that you will see a lot of announcements on that in the very near future, domestically and internationally, of things that we are doing to take talent recruitment and the development of talent to another level.
Hi, I'm Frank Allen from BBC News. So tonight was iconic, well done. It was the first PLA in Scotland. Can we expect perhaps more in the future in Scotland and perhaps in the bigger scale like in Murrayfield?
So I've said this in the past, we are going to all these markets. When you show up like Scotland did tonight, are we going to come back? Hell yes. Is it going to be bigger? Let's see, right? Like, how big can we make it? That is the challenge globally, internationally, everywhere. Is to go to the places that are the biggest and the loudest. We even brought a monitor now to be able to say, like, oh, no, you were louder. We're you know, we're WWE is big all over the globe. It's everywhere. We're the places that we want to go the most. We're the places that want us to go the most, to go there the most. And then also, what are the places that our partners internationally, like Netflix, would love us to go to and increase business there for them. So it's a partnership all the way around. It's a partnership with us, with you, with Netflix, and we're going to continue to grow that and continue to deliver to fans the excitement that they want to see and show up and go crazy for.
Hi Paul, Colin Lamont here with the Scottish Sun. A few years ago you appeared on an ICW show with Dallas, and we got to see obviously Scottish talent there. I know Drew was one of the big trailblazers, and now we have so many people. We have two of the champions that we crowned tonight. Has it been cool for you to watch Scotland progress and suddenly produce so many top quality wrestlers for WWE and promotions everywhere?
Absolutely. I've, you know, over the years, and there's been reasons for it to happen and reasons for it to stop behind the scenes and all of those things, but I've always had an interest in trying to make WWE and wrestling in general bigger globally. To encourage, to me, when a kid sits at home on a day like today and he watches Drew McIntyre or she watches Elba and Isla or Piper Niven or anybody like that, and they say, wow, they're from here, like me, they're just like me. Man, if I work that hard and I go after my dream, I can do this too. When you can do that globally, worldwide, whether that's France, whether that's the Middle East, whether that's Japan, any place where you can begin to have that next generation, because that's what it starts with. That's how it started with me, is a kid that sits and watches it and one day goes, I have to do that. I have to do that. If we can cultivate that, where people in those countries, in those markets, begin to see their future in front of their eyes, that's game-changing stuff for me. So, was I excited to come here years ago? You know, for IW's Mark Dallas' promotion. When we talked about that, and I was going to show up, he was like, "You're kidding me," you know, like. Yeah, I love doing that stuff, and I love being able to put a spotlight on that and hopefully find more talent from that. And we'll hopefully just continue to grow that in the future.
Hi Paul, Scott Felstead from Muslim Fitness. Congratulations on another blockbuster event. We mentioned Damien Priest earlier, and I was just wondering if it brings back memories for you, because unlike kind of boxing and MMA where somebody gets injured and that might end the fight, in a pro wrestling match, and maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes of a story to do. That takes a lot of heart, and I think wrestling should get a bit more respect for the amount of heart that people show when it's a full contact sport, as CM Punk said. I wonder if it brings any memories back for you, and if you've got any thoughts on that.
Yeah, not good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in that situation before where, you know, as he said, it's full contact sport. The injury rate is 100%. No one gets out unscathed. And they might have a long run of it, but but you're going to leave here with some issues, with some aches and pains. It's just a part of the game, but it's part of what we do and why we love it. You know, when I saw that happen to Damien, my heart jumped out of my chest. I didn't see any way that he wasn't injured, and when I got word that he says he's fine, which adrenaline is a hell of a drug. You know, you seem fine in the moment. I'm really hoping when I leave here I'm going to get good news, because while he's walking around okay now, I'm sure adrenaline is carrying him through that. So there's such a fine line between what we do being safe and what we do not being safe. There is a risk to reward ratio every single time you get in that ring. And, you know, it's the truth is, it's why we try to emphasize storytelling, right? Because everything else is special effects to a degree. And you've got to take the risks when you can and not take them when you can. And you want to be in this for the long haul, not the short. So, yeah, it brings back memories. I can relate to it, and I certainly hope he's okay, but it's part of what we do. Don't try this at home.
Final question of the evening goes to James.
Hi, James Elo from Gorilla Position. Congrats on tonight.
Thank
You mentioned Chad Gable earlier on. We were lucky enough to have him on our show this morning, and he sort of revealed to us, as you say, that he has indeed re-signed with WWE, chosen not to go elsewhere. And the reasons he gave, he said he respected your vision for the product, but crucially, it was because you kept your promises you made to him pertaining to his career and the growth of his career. Can you kind of speak on the conversations you had with him about that and why he's such a special talent?
Well, one, that's very flattering, and I'm humbled that he would say that. But like the truth is, he's an amazing performer. I would like for him to be here forever, for him to be able to perform at the highest level, be seen by the most people, have an incredible career, leave here as healthy as possible. But the environment has changed, and he is a part of that change. So to me, it would have been a shame. I would have been sad if he had been here all this time and he just, you know, went elsewhere for whatever reasons. I would have been happy for him if that was right for him, and I would have wished him incredible success wherever he went. That's a part of the game. It's a part of this business. But he's an incredible performer, and you know, as far as the conversations we had, that's not mine to talk about. If he wants to talk about them, that's his business, but it's not mine to talk about. I'm just thrilled he's here. I'm thrilled he's where at home here, where he should be, and I can't wait to like I said about CM Punk, we're all doing this together. That's what's great about this. There's a unified movement that everybody seems to be loving, and we're all headed in the same direction. It's just a massive movement of positive, excited, young talent, and some older, that are looking to run through a wall to take this to another level, as big as it is, that are looking to make this beyond anybody's expectations of what it can be. And I think that mindset, especially people like Chad, you know, Chad came up through the PC and we've worked together for a long time. So I know what his expectations are because we helped put it in him. And I'm just thrilled that he's here and excited to move forward with him.
Well, Paul, congratulations on a historic evening here tonight, and safe travels to Corpus Christi, Texas for Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think after tonight, Corpus should be interesting. I would imagine McIntyre will be there, as will others. So it should be quite interesting. And as always, we start the next chapter and the next page. And it's an exciting time. So hopefully I'll see you all at Money in the Bank. Thank you for being so excited and your hospitality while we were here, and we'll see you down the road. Thank you.